I'm Tom Layson, and this is a Northwest Now Extra. Western Washington lives in a perpetual traffic emergency. Is the $50 billion Sound Transit 3 light rail plan the answer to an even more congested future? The Sound Transit Board will spend the spring and early summer putting the finishing touches on Sound Transit 3, and then it goes to the voters on the November ballot. Sound Transit 3 includes a 58-mile extension of light rail to Everett and south to Tacoma, light rail spurs to Ballard, West Seattle, Redmond, and Issaquah, 39 new light rail stations, a lot of new bus service, 16 new parking garages and 2 new surface lots, and a Tacoma Link light rail extension to Tacoma Community College. This year's INRIC study shows Seattle drivers spend 66 hours a year sitting in traffic, and that's among the worst in the nation. So, of course, everybody thinks their portion of ST3 is the most important. But in Snohomish County, promises of an extension to Everett are already 20 years old. ST3's draft plan doesn't get the Linwood to Everett extension built for another 25 years. And when word of that hit Snohomish County, ST3, as proposed, was dead on arrival. The parking lot at Everett Station is packed with the cars of Sound Transit rail commuters, but for years they've been promised this: light rail connecting to Linwood and all points south. But when news came that completion wouldn't come until 2041, local leaders like Everett City Councilman and Sound Transit Board member Paul Roberts immediately started crafting a counter-proposal. Boeing and the Job Center at Payne Field remain the first priority, so all agree the ST3 draft plan's loop west out to Payne Field had to stay, even though a straight shot up I-5 would really have speeded up the timeline.
The capacity for employment there is over 100,000 between Linwood and Everett. Right there, 90,000. Today it's 55,000, so the job growth capacity is huge. It's also closer to Mukilteo. Once you get north of 128th on I-5, there really aren't very many people who are living on the east side of I-5, so just going up I-5 doesn't really serve the population center. So we're happy that that we're connecting the job center, but we need to do it quicker.
The line north from Payne Field needs to terminate back here at Everett Station. But instead of blazing a new trail on Everett's surface streets, the counterproposal uses the easier right-of-ways on the Boeing Freeway and I-5 to make the final leg up to Everett. Roberts says the plan saves $300 million and 8 years, a compromise between the ST3 draft proposal's too distant 2041 completion date and the possibly unrealistic Build It Now crowd focused only on Everett.
Even if money weren't an object, we'd probably be talking about something like 12 years. And so if the voters in 2016 approve a package, then we think, in trying to build a system for the whole region, recognizing we're not the only piece of the region, but we think that 2033 will work, and the 3 board members from Snohomish County have written a letter to that effect.
Will the compromise plan fly? We won't know until all the feedback is nailed down in the language of the ST3 ballot measure. But one would think win-win proposals that save money and time while serving the system's primary goal of building a robust north-south light rail spine served by East-West Bus Rapid Transit, or BRT, might have a good shot.
In the end, this is about a regional system. And part of the challenge is people are looking at it as funding sub-area equity. Well, there are 5 sub-areas. That balkanizes the system, and it doesn't meet the needs of the region. People don't live and work just within one sub-area. We cross all over the place now in a regional system, and the spine goes from I-5 to Everett to Tacoma. It's 405, and it's I-90. That's the spine. And we need to connect that spine, and we connect it with rail, but we also connect it across with bus rapid transit. So it's a pretty sophisticated system, and it needs to meet the region's needs first.
To see our full discussion about Sound Transit 3, be sure to look at the Northwest Now section of KBTC.org. Northwest Now airs Friday nights at 7:30 right here on KBTC, and be sure to look for more stories like this one by following us on Facebook and Twitter at Northwest Now.